You give yourself that permission to ease up, to do that little bit less. Oh, I'd be okay with that. It's very tricky, you know, I'd be okay with a little bit less results and doing so well right now. Give it an inch and then takes a mile. It seems so plausible and so right, you know, but we buy into it and then it's that slippery slope. Hi, I'm Jeff and I'm a weight loss coach, psychotherapist and personal trainer. And here on the channel, we're here to talk about body transformations that last. So if that sounds interesting to you and you want to keep up with the work that we're doing here and you think you might get something out of that, then you might want to subscribe, like the video and hit the notifications bell, and that way you can keep updated. Okay, so in today's video, we're going to talk about how not to screw up your diet or your training or any other aspect of the weight loss journey. So what I want to do is give you one simple solution and then go through 3 key things that are commonly distorted, but if understood properly, they can be utilized as powerful tools to keep us on track. So jumping into the content now, talking about what is falling for the distortions of the mind, the traps of the mind. So to get the gratification of the problem behavior, the mind finds a way to make it okay. This happens a lot with training and eating as well, where it's just like there's a high element of self-deception. It's always framed in a way that's like, oh, you know, you deserve this. And it's like there's a program out there that's the perfect program that's gonna, you know, inspire me and keep me going and keep me getting results. And then we keep searching for that one, you know. And as soon as it gets a little bit hard, it's like, oh, well, the program must be wrong, you know. Or the other one is it shouldn't be so hard. That one. I mean, look, why shouldn't it be that hard? We're living in fantasy land here. We just think you can eat chocolate and you should be allowed to. But ultimately, that is all just distortion. The challenge is what it is. The amount of work and the difficulty of it is what it is. And letting yourself be victimized by any of that stuff is just fighting reality. And it just doesn't lead to consistency. It doesn't lead to staying engaged with it. Every time you flick back and start trying to justify why you're not doing something, cut that out. That's not helping, right? Because it is what it is, and we just gotta get to work. So this is the solution here: is to accept the challenge and see it as a journey where we're learning and growing and applying ourselves and seeing things accurately so that we don't buy into the distortions, right? And understand where they are and where you're gonna typically find yourself lying to yourself. If we know what those challenges are, if we know what those distortions are, and we know we can go, oh, that I'm not gonna buy into that one, you know that they're going to come up. When you see it coming, then it doesn't have the same power because you don't buy into it. It's like, yeah, okay, I know that one. I know that little trick, you know. When you get tired, you start saying, oh, it's okay, you deserve it. You're wanting some comfort food, and, you know, it's just, you see it coming from a mile away and you say, don't try and give me that one again. I know that is not where I'm heading. That's not where I want to go. This is difficult to the degree that you buy into the BS. It really is. It only has the power that you give it. Really, it only has that. And the more that you sort of go, yeah, I think I do believe that. I think I do deserve it. And it's like, then you're giving your power away, you're making it harder. You know, look, enjoy it from time to time. It's not a sin, you know, but don't justify it, because then you're giving it power. So now we're going to go through the 3 commonly distorted things that throw us off track. One of the first things is to change your relationship with the scale. That one is important. I know that there are some programs out there that say, oh, you know, don't look at the scale, it messes with your mind and that's a horrible thing, and just look away from it. But I think it's not about running away from these things. I mean, most of the time when someone
says to me that they've come in to want to make a change. What was the turning point? It's a lot of the time it's that they looked at the scale and they thought, oh, I really have to change. It was that was the trigger. It has a lot of power, and then just going, oh, there's something that's really, really positively powerful. How it can be, to just go, oh, don't look at it. I said, it's not about not looking at these things. It's about looking at them right, looking at them in a way that helps. So I'm saying, don't look at it and go, oh, and then make a big drama about what it is. Just look at it and say, yeah, it is what it is. What is it telling me? What do I need to shift here? It's feedback, right? Changing the way you think about it, not thinking about it. That's never a good idea. We can't change something if you're not thinking about it, you're not paying attention to it. And there's a lot more I could say about how to do that, and I'll go into that in a separate video, but that's very important to do that. Something else is changing the relationship with your goals. I think the word goal sets up kind of a pass-fail thing. It has a little bit of pressure attached to it, I think. And so instead I like to think of them as directions and intentions. This is where I'm heading, this is where I'm going, this is what I want to create in my life. There's no timeline on this, there's no deadline. And you can say, oh, I'd like to achieve this around this sort of time, because there's no pressure. You don't have to do it by any particular point. When there's pressure, these distortions start to come in, start to mess with them, because we don't like to have pressure on us to, well, you must do this by this point. It's, we want to run away from that stuff. So don't create an environment that you want to run away from and distort. That's no good. One other thing I'll mention, and there's a lot more we could talk about, well, one thing I think is important to know as well is something that they call, and there's been books written about this, and a very powerful piece is to understand this thing called the motivational dip. At the beginning of anything, there's a lot of motivation there. There's a lot of energy. It's, yes, I'm making this change and it's happening, and then that's when it sort of leads to this all or nothing approach, which, that in and of itself is a distortion, and leads to just being burnt out by the whole process, and that you want to run away from. And again, I'll do another video on that. But the important thing you understand with the dip is that after that initial phase, no one gets out of it. It happens within sort of the first 3 months usually. It could be more, could be less, but the point is at some point it will go down. It's not a matter of whether hopefully it won't, and if I get enough results, then it'll just keep going. No, it won't. There will be a dip, right? And then in that dip, how do you pull yourself out of that? That's everything. And then the thing is, this doesn't just happen once. This happens consistently. Consistently, you will fall off the motivational peak. You have to be conscious enough to know that will happen. And when it happens, how do you pull yourself out of it? You've got to be prepared for that, and that whenever you hit a dip, action plan, out of the dip. So if you got a lot of value out of that, and you want more, you might want to subscribe, like the video, and I'd love to hear from you guys as well. What's a common distortion that you fall into every now and then? Maybe yourself or someone close to you, and you'd like some feedback on that. I'd love to communicate with you guys. I'll see you next time.